Check. Mic check. 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Platform Podcast. As always, I am your host, Dex. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you give us a follow. Leave any comments with questions that you have for the guest, and definitely let me know what you guys think of the show and who you want to see on upcoming episodes. As always, this show is brought to you by Make It Now Media. They're a one-stop shop for all your graphic design needs. So if you need them for venue owners, DJs, agencies, any flyers that you need, logos, EPKs, all that kind of stuff, Make It Now has got you covered. Hit them up and use the code PLATFORM, or send them an email and just mention the Platform Podcast. They will get you all taken care of. Now today on the show, we got a great episode, 2 return guests that are starting their own side project here. 2 awesome DJs that reside right here in Nashville. We're sitting down with Dirty Darren, Rod Yuri, also known as BRDWY. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? Nailed the one take again.
2 weeks in a row. But yeah, how's it going, man? Thank you for making the stop over here and taking the time to sit down and record.
No problem, buddy.
Let's get started, man. We'll talk to you guys about a lot of things. We're going to get into a couple different topics here, from you guys talking about this new side project that you're working on that's called BRDWY. Very fitting here. Just some of the things that you guys have gotten into in the music world, talking about edits, remixes, the works that you guys have been putting in. Darren and I have obviously made some stuff together too that's been doing pretty well. And then just where you guys see this going and what you want to do in the future with it. So to get started, Rod, I know you were on last week's episode. If you want to go ahead and give a little recap of who you are and how long you've been in the industry for people that might not have watched last week's episode. And then Darren, let the listeners, let the viewers know a little bit about you if they haven't seen the 2 episodes that you've been on too.
Yeah, born and raised in Murfreesboro, so 30 minutes outside of Nashville, so I've been there my whole life, and been DJing now over, I guess this is year 25.
Damn.
Because I played my first bar club in 99, so yeah.
Yeah.
Year 25.
Holy shit.
I'm
You got to
old.
be up there too. What are you at, 20?
I'm at around 20, yeah.
Yeah.
25, damn, dude.
Time to start gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved to Nashville about 2.5 years ago. Been DJing for almost 20 years now. If not, maybe a little over that. I don't even know. Started when I was 13. Been going ever since. And that's it, pretty much.
Yeah, from Chicago. You've been out here a little while now, and then obviously Rod, been from here. So you've actually gotten to be able to see how Nashville has changed
Yeah.
over the years from not being near what it is.
Yeah, when I finally got to play Nashville after staying in Murfreesboro for several years, Nashville had less than 5 clubs.
Whoa.
And it was like 1 club, then it was kind of like a lesser club, and kind of went that way. So, and that's back when Second Avenue was the place to go.
And now
Really?
every single spot on Broadway is a bar
Yeah.
/ nightclub, essentially. So
4 or 5 story one
Yeah.
at that.
But yeah, you guys have been working on a new project that you guys just announced here in the last couple of weeks. I mean, what, 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, was it 2 weeks?
I'd say it's
Yeah.
been at least 3.
maybe?
Like
Oh,
middle of April.
Yeah.
Yeah, start of April. I just wanted to get into just a little bit about that, of one, just how you guys got the idea started, and then just some of the thought process behind going and making edits specifically for like this niche audience that I think that you guys are trying to cater them to. So whoever wants to go ahead and talk about it, give a little background of it.
I think how it kind of started happening was just us like making jokes about it.
Yeah, we just joked about we need to make an edit for like X song.
I think I was just like, yeah, let's go through like the really old country. Like you probably know it better than I do. And then, yeah, just kind of like we sat down one day and I think we knocked out 2 or 3 edits that first day.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the first day at my house, knocked out a couple edits, and we're like, maybe we should make this a thing. And literally, like, in that same sit down, I was like, all right, let's go with, what do you think about BRDWY?
Yeah.
How long did it
Nova.
take you guys to think of the name? Or was it just kind of
It kind of just
made
happened.
sense?
I think it was the first suggestion I threw out.
Yeah.
Which now, like looking at it, I'm very surprised that nobody else already has that name, because it feels like it's a name that would just make sense.
Right. I think even when we made the logo, I was like, I think he just did it really quick on his phone. I was like, yeah, let's just roll with it. I was like, let's not overthink any of this. Like,
Then we were getting compliments on the logo. It's like, this literally took 38 seconds to make.
yeah. I think the only adjustment I did was I moved the crown above the R and the D.
Yeah.
And Broadway, because I was like, oh, it could be like the hidden secret to Rod and Darren.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. When we were trying to be anonymous.
Yeah.
Damn. I would have never even known that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like,
It was a little
That's
hidden
your little
egg
Easter
right there.
egg. Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, it flowed pretty quick, man. I feel like people sometimes make edits and they don't have a club mindset. Mm-hmm. And I think me and Rod play very similar. So like, the way we both think about stuff, I feel like we could, like, I could just hand him the headphones and he'd be like, oh yeah, that would work. Or he could be like, maybe take this out and move it. And I could be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes you just get like ear deaf to stuff, or
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's the right term, but
I feel like especially talking in the country music landscape of like DJing and the club scene too, I think that's where you're kind of headed, where it's like some of the edits just are just made just to be made, whether they like don't have an 8-bar intro or something like that, and they just make them and they don't really change anything to them. Where what I feel like most of the country songs need is an energy boost in some sort of way.
yeah.
And a lot of times, and Rod, you and I were talking about this briefly before, a lot of times people make those for songs that don't fit that energy at all. Or it's like a song that like doesn't necessarily need to be edited or remixed, or just literally doesn't fit with that edit or remix at all.
I said earlier, we listened to something the other day for like 5 minutes of playing around with an acapella and instrumental, and we're like, all right, never mind. Just scrap that idea.
Yeah, you're just like, it's not going to work. Yeah.
So yeah, not every song needs a remix.
Yeah. But that's what I think is like the biggest thing in the country music landscape of things, is like trying to fit the song with an energy for the club that just gives a little bit more boost and makes it more playable in a nightlife aspect.
I totally agree, because I do think like a lot of those songs are bangers, but like they are like slow songs or like sad songs, but like they're great to sing to.
Yeah.
Like they are sing-alongs. They're just like, if you're singing them in your car, like how do we make that into like a nightclub vibe? Like I don't want, some girl that broke up with her boyfriend crying in the background. Like let's try to give it that energy, that boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we've been to concerts where you get the big arena sing-alongs, and it's trying to figure out how to like take something that is a sing-along and incorporate it into the nightlife.
Yeah.
But then also, like I said earlier, it's like these edits aren't for every person. They're not for every venue. They're for what we do.
Yeah.
Which that's why the name Broadway fits very, very perfectly. And yeah, it's something that where you guys can kind of work into a lot of stuff where it's like you can go back to some of the classics and kind of revamp them and make them work.
That's kind of actually more how it started, because I was like, dude, I know all these country songs and I don't know them by name or by artist. It's just like growing up hearing commercials, watching movies or TV shows. Like, oh, I know that. Like the Trisha Yearwood one that we put out today. Like I knew the song, but like we said, I would never be able to tell you the title or the artist. Like, but I'm like, oh, I know the song. Like I started singing it when we started playing. I'm like, oh, that's a good song. Let's do that one.
And there's so many songs like that where I know the song, I know the lyrics just from either hearing it growing up, listening to it in the car on rides from city to city. But yeah, like if you were like, who is this? Tell me who this is. I mean, like, I don't fucking know.
I know one of the edits was like, I got a request for it, playing at Friends in Low Places, and I was like, man, I wish I had a good edit that I could actually play this out right now. And so we knocked one out, and you might hear it a little later in this episode.
But that's where I think is going to be a lot of the stuff that's going to kind of give you guys ideas, is people coming up to you in these venues that want to hear songs. And like a person that I think of that's a perfect example is like Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
Like when he had his new album come out, I had so many people come up and like request Zach Bryan. And I'm like, all of his songs are fucking slow, kind of like emotional songs that do not fit for peak hour at a fucking club.
Yeah.
At all. Where I'm like, I would have girls come up and request, and I'm like, I'm not playing. Like, no, it's so slow. And same
like,
kind of thing.
Great song, but I can't play it out.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to have girls start crying at the fucking bar.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's going to be like a lot of the ideas that are going to come to mind for you is people are going to come up and request a song, or you guys are going to get like multiple requests for one song and then be like, damn, all right, this is something that clearly people want to hear, but doesn't necessarily fit the environment. So we got to make something for it.
Yeah, we have like a little text. We'll just randomly text each other and just be like, I think this one would work. Remind me when we sit down and like make it. Mm-hmm. Or like I feel like Rod will find a lot of really dope like EDM songs that we can use to put the vocals over.
Yeah.
Like stuff that I've never even heard of. I'll be like, oh man, that one's dope. Like I think we took the Trisha Yearwood, the new disco edit, and all we did was we took the vocal out of the new disco edit.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what song it was. But her vocal went like right over it really good, well.
And it was fit and it was in key and everything with it.
And like it's I wouldn't say it's like a primetime banger, but like it's good enough to like play the song out.
It's a great daytime kind of
like
daytime, the early set.
Not trying to like
sunset rooftop vibe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is you guys are going to be able to have songs that fit all those gaps. Like not every song needs to be that peak hour banger. No. Especially here with having DJs from fucking noon until bar close every day, is there's going to be songs that you're like, all right, cool, we can make this into that opener set, that little warm-up vibe, or those songs where you can be like, cool, you're playing a rooftop that is more of like a disco
The amount
vibe.
of times I've gone on like after another DJ and the manager's like, hey, can you dial it back a little bit from what the guy was doing beforehand? It's like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I think we need a lot more of those vibey songs, because I definitely think there is a niche for it here. I think everybody just wants that banger, and it's like, bro, not every single one of them has to be tear your face off.
Yeah.
Raging, like
they don't all need to be 128 BPM, fucking just high energy whole way through it. So
I think that's where kind of disconnect is on some of the remixes that come out. It's like they're just making that high energy strictly for the club, but that song doesn't really fit that vibe. So there's a little bit of disconnect when you're trying to go between the two genres.
See, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's so many that come out now just because of how popular the country has become, that I feel like people are forcing it just to try and pump the edits out.
Yeah.
Where then it's like you listen to them, you're like, this just doesn't even make sense at all. And that's where I think is going to be like one of the harder parts with making the edits and remixes for you guys, is picking the songs that work. And realizing, like you said, like while you're making it, you're like, this just doesn't work, and move on to another one and try and make it work with something else too.
That's definitely one thing I'm big on. Like if it takes too long, like to warp the vocal or something, it's just like, nope. Like I'll stop, I'll delete it, or I'll come back. Like I'll try it again another day. But like you can, like I feel like some people force stuff, like you said, and it's like, bro, you're trying too hard. Like just stop it. Like chill. Revamp. Like it shouldn't be as hard as you're making it.
Yeah, and that's just gonna come with a lot of time with doing it, and I feel like it's gonna get easier and easier just as you keep putting in the work. Because especially with something like editing and making remixes, it's something that you have to be doing consistently to get better at it, and that's something that you've been working on for the last couple of years now, and the progress that you've made for it has been awesome. And obviously we have our remix that we put out for the Noah Khan Stick Season edit that we did the Murder on the Dance Floor one too, and both of them did very well. That Noah Khan Stick Season has been super popular.
That was a banger.
Yeah, especially here.
It's my song.
Yeah. Last episode, Rod had that as one of his top songs, so we love that. And for me and you, we love having people play it out and listening to people play it out, and then tag us in stories and stuff like that too.
Somebody from Canada played it and tagged us. I was like, what?
At that one like party,
Yeah, I was like,
and it looked fucking crazy, yeah.
How it's still up on SoundCloud, I don't know.
And that's what I don't get either, because we put Murder on the Dance Floor up there, and I'm not kidding, like before I even posted it, and Darren and I were sitting together, I posted it, and like 10 seconds later it got taken down. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, our first edit that we were going to release was the Austin Wake Me Up edit. It was up on SoundCloud.
Dasha, yeah,
Dasha and Avicii, and like it was up for 5 minutes and got taken down. Then I like tried rewording it, trying a different way to post it the next week.
Yeah,
5 minutes taken down.
What about Shabuzi? Did you guys put that up on there?
No, after the 2 takedowns from SoundCloud, we just segued straight to Patreon.
Okay, which I think is a better move. Yeah, because then it's like you know that stuff's not going to get taken down. Plus, that's where once you guys build enough of a following too. I mean, being able to charge, like I don't post near enough on mine, and I feel like I'm making like an extra $100 off of Patreon, where it's like,
there's so many Patreon accounts that I personally subscribe to that I've just forgotten about, and I'll be like, this dude literally hasn't posted anything in a year.
Yeah.
And I've been paying him $5 a month.
Yeah. And that's how I feel like mine is too. But I mean, for me, I put a lot of like the platform stuff on.
Yeah.
But even still, I don't utilize it near as much as I should, where it's like doing pre-releases for episodes or like, I mean, the stuff like having like the set list for the episodes, I always just like put out. But yeah, there's a lot more that I could do. And then obviously once like the edits and remixes start to come too, that's where the DJs are really, really making their money. Where I look at guys like a Joe Maz or
Eccentric, Nick Bike.
Yeah. Like Eccentrics is fucking
just take my
crazy.
money, Eccentric.
Yeah.
I don't
His
care
is
what you
crazy.
charge.
But yeah.
Don't say that. He's going to go up.
Yeah. Now he's putting the price up. So, but yeah, you guys talked a little bit about it before, how obviously you were going to have like a little Easter egg with the name. And I know that you guys have told me after it came out, because I didn't even get told about this until after it was fucking posted. So, and then I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? And Darren's like, oh, we did a little side project. And you guys were going to stay anonymous.
That was the original plan, yeah.
Yeah. I did screw that up. I didn't kind of screw that up. I screwed that up. I got a little defensive when another DJ in Nashville was like, what fucking edit is this? It's not in key. And I was like, it's mine. I made it. And I looked up and I was like, it's the Broadway edit. I'm like, I just gave myself away. And he literally was like, it was Diesel. He literally looked at the screen and he's like, it doesn't say your name. It says Broadway. And I was like, I text Rod. I'm like, I'm going to have to tell Diesel it's us.
See, but I'm surprised even after that you still didn't just like let him know and keep it quiet. But I also feel like Diesel would have told everybody anyway.
He would have.
Yeah.
Maybe not even on purpose either. That's would have
Yeah.
been like, if he was playing an edit, like, who is it? Oh, it's Darren and Rod.
Yeah, he would have been hyping you guys up. How come you guys like wanted to stay anonymous? Because I personally think it's a good idea. In the DJ world is good because so many DJs are just fucking haters.
All of them are.
Where it's
I'm
like-
a hater.
It's kind of part of being a DJ. You know, they see like Rod Erie or Dirty Darren labeled on it there, have like a little prejudgment attached to it. Mm-hmm. Where if you were
You won't even
anonymous
give it a
with
chance before you listen to it.
Broadway and they don't know who it is, they might be like, give it a little more wider berth to listen to and soak it in and make a judgment
Yeah.
rather than strictly judging off the name.
Yeah. Because, I feel like even with ours, like Darren and I have like been with other DJs and like bashed our fucking edit of Noah Khan's Stick Season. And I'm like, yeah, it's ours. And they're like, oh.
Oh, my bad.
And then they'll like say something else. Like, or it's just like you just, the same kind of thing where it's like, I feel like so many of them are just haters just to be haters, where it could end up hurting you by them knowing it and like having like your name associated to it versus like being anonymous and being like ambiguous with who is it.
Yeah.
Where they're going into listening with more of like a clean slate instead of already some sort of like premeditated judgment toward what they're listening to. I think of it like, I mean, just like Tiger Nuts, like the post that I just put up from the episode that I did with Roche, where I put a clip up talking about Tiger Nuts and how every DJ
The
like,
best opening
knows-
act ever.
Yeah.
He is.
They like
He's
know
opened more
who he
festivals
is.
and bars than anybody in the world, probably.
Exactly. And like so many DJs were commenting on it.
The amount of times, like when I've started playing at a gig, like within the first couple of minutes of doors opening, and I know Darren's like has started at the same exact time, I'm like, Tiger Nuts over there?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yep.
I'll be like, is he by you too? He'd be like, yep.
guy can fucking play all these venues across the U.S. But yeah, it's crazy because like going through all the comments and everything on that post, like everybody talked about how they play his mixes, and like
Who it was never actually came out though in the comments, did it?
I got told who it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
By,
But it's still not public, right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
By people from Club Killers, I got told who it was, which I figured it was like somebody on their staff because that's the only place that you would find the mixes. But yeah, it's just funny, like the ambiguity of it, where you don't know who they are, but everybody fucking loves them.
The amount of times like I would just start searching Tiger Nuts on Instagram and online.
And there was never, yeah,
Don't search Tiger Nuts online.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
I wonder how they came up with that name.
yeah.
Like, let's make it the worst thing we can think of.
I mean, but I feel like that's like part of the weird branding for it too, where you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what is tiger nut?
What is a tiger nut?
Yeah. And that's kind of what made that clip so good is Roché's like, what the fuck is tiger nuts?
Yeah.
I still don't think he didn't know what tiger nuts was.
Yeah.
He's been in the game too long.
That's true.
Yeah, dude, he had to have, man. I always think back to like a story I heard about Cashmere, because especially I feel like the house world, being from Chicago, house DJs are very snobby, and you know, if like Percolator, for example, it got so popular that like the house DJs were like, I'm not playing the Percolator. It's like top 40 now. It's being on, you know, B96 is playing it.
Yeah.
Or whatever radio station of that time. So he said that people would be in the record store and pick up his records and it had his name on it. And he was like, they're like, I'm not even going to listen to it because it's Cashmere. It's going to be the Percolator again. Like, it's the biggest house record probably of all time.
Yeah.
Or close to it. Like, so that's why he changed
And you're
his name
saying
to
you
Green
don't
Velvet.
want to play it because he's too fucking popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's literally why he changed his name to Green Velvet,
Yeah.
which I think is cool because they're both fabrics. But yeah, I just like, dude, imagine having one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, I know that's been pretty common in the electronic world for
People to rebrand like
DJs,
that. Yeah.
producers rebrand if they're going to do a different genre.
I'm surprised TGR didn't because they started hating him. Like everybody loved him when he came out, and then Pitbull picked up the song, did his own little remix to it, I guess, and all the house DJs are like, why would you let him do that, blah, blah. And he's like,
Because I got bills to pay.
Yeah, I got bills. Like,
And also, he's one of the biggest fucking artists in the world.
yeah. And he's like, why do you think I make music? I worked for this moment. I wanted people all over the world to hear my song. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, I think just dance music in general, people are like haters.
I think of another person that kind of goes that route of being anonymous is Pickle. And Pickle's been like blowing up for the last couple of years.
I know who Pickle is.
So do I. But
You know who Pickle is?
I do not.
but you know like who Pickle the DJ is.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But like that's the kind of thing where it's like
I was also mind blown when I realized he actually DJs in a pickle costume.
it's got to be fucking miserable inside that
ridiculous.
thing.
I wonder
But
how hot it is.
he's got to have like built-in fans or some shit like that. Like because
Yeah.
that shit has to be so hot. But also I'm just picturing like how you see everything out of there. But same thing where it's like that could have been somebody that got like canceled or something and then when rebranded.
I mean, it's the whole marshmallow.
Yeah. And it's like,
Well, he still keeps .com fresh, though. If you go on his Instagram, he still posts. And he posts like Marshmallow's his boy, which I think is hilarious.
but that's the thing. It's like, hypothetically, it's not what that situation is. But
Yeah.
hypothetically, it could be someone that just like got canceled and rebranded.
So if we ever get canceled, we're coming out wearing costumes and masks and rebranding.
and just
Yeah.
yeah.
I knew Pickle was somebody, like, I wouldn't say big, but I knew he had a bit of money. Because when he came out...
You thought it was TJR.
I did at first.
Yeah.
Because he had a really bouncy sound to him.
So who is it?
I'll tell you in a second. But I loved how his branding was like the comic book, and the Pickle was a little naughty in a sense.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, whoever's doing this has money. Like, you're not paying somebody to make you a cartoon. Like, you
Well,
definitely
they
are
had so
putting-
many different visuals too.
Yeah.
like, where it's like that shit cost so much money.
Yeah, even if it was like a homie hookup, like you're still gonna pay your boy a couple $100 a week to make an Instagram post. Like that's gonna add up.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I found out who it was, I was kind of even more shocked. I'm like, really? I didn't think it was him. Mm-hmm. Should we just say who it is? It's
Yeah.
Is it really?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard him once. We were at dinner once. We were with like a group of people. I didn't even realize it was him while we were having dinner. And he brought up like how he was basically the creator of like Big Room, and like he never got credit for it. So I feel like he always kind of had
I
like
used
a
to play
little.
a ton of his edits.
Yeah,
He
I
had
mean,
some
me
bangers.
too. He always had bangers. I was like, I felt like he had a little like shade. Like, I don't get booked for these festivals, but everybody's playing Big Room, and he's like, that was literally like the genre I created.
Yeah.
So like now I feel like it's dope that he's kind of blowing up his Pickle. Like, I would assume that he probably doesn't want the fame either to do the mask, unless the mask is just because he doesn't take it off either.
No,
So-
at all.
So I would feel he probably doesn't want the fame. He just wants to make music and party rock.
Yeah. He's doing fucking well. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, for Broadway, I mean, like, what do you guys have in the works? What's the goal here? Like, how many do you guys want to be pumping out every month? you guys have that kind of stuff set up yet, or is it still so early that you guys just don't?
Still pretty early, but ideally, I think we just one edit a week.
Yeah.
And we've got a little bit of a back catalog already from things we've knocked out.
Okay.
And we've already got a notes app of ideas going back and forth. So
yeah, I think edit a week is good because obviously it being about to be busy season, there's going to be weeks that we're not going to be able to get together. So if there's like like tonight after the podcast, we're going to try to make and finish a few. And then we could just have them to sit on for a while.
Yeah.
And like Rod said, like test them out, make sure they work on Broadway before we actually put them out. But yeah, man, I don't know what the goal is. I guess we'll just see where it takes us.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I feel like...
We're about to have a little therapy session here, just figuring out what Broadway is right now.
Well, no, but I feel like with country right now, it's blowing up so much where it's like there's a lot of these DJs that have ended up getting very popular just from creating these edits and remixes and then throwing them on like a TikTok or a Instagram. And then those artists have been like, cool, I want this to be an official remix for me.
Yeah.
Or they get asked to go and play these big festivals just because of them making dope remixes that picked up traction from other DJs playing them or picked up traction from their social media, that kind of stuff too, where that's definitely something that I feel like could happen for you guys. And obviously, like Rod, you've played festivals prior, a lot of different country festivals prior. And Darren, you just got done playing with Cole Swindell recently too. So,
Hello, Triple Boy.
Yeah,
there you go.
That could be something that's definitely in the future that I could see for sure.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be dope if that happened. I mean, I guess that is kind of the goal. I just never really thought about it. Like I said, it really did start off with us just being like, I want to play this song, but I can't because it's not going to work. But yeah, I mean, yeah, festivals would be dope. But we'll see. I don't know.
You saw Diplo had his own stage at Stagecoach.
Yeah.
And then not only that stage, you had Jameson had an activation which had a ton of DJs out there. Bud Light had an activation that had a ton of DJs at it. It's like Stagecoach became just basically a whole YEE-DM festival real quick.
Yeah.
But like even Stagecoach, like I look at their lineup of stuff and it's not even necessarily like open format DJs or like country DJs. It's a lot of just people that have a little bit bigger name.
Yeah.
Like you look at Chainsmokers and like James Kennedy and then like Brandy Cyrus and then obviously like Diplo. Whereas then you look at like EDC just announced their little country part. And for EDC's part, I feel like it's always just like the same couple country DJs that have gotten like gained attraction or anything, where it's like MC40, Vavo has gotten really big into the EDM scene. And like Roadhouse with Silver is always out there for stuff. And then like Brandy Cyrus is always, I feel like one of like the DJs just because she's Brandy Cyrus.
I feel like the last year she's blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you've gotten to play with her, what, 3 times now? 2 times now?
2 times.
Yeah.
Layer Cake and then Friends of All Places.
Yeah, I know she's back in town at the end of the month.
Where like, do you guys
I did
think,
see that, yeah.
like, do you guys think now with the landscape of country music, do you think that will kind of change DJs into going like more into country, or do you think it's just like those guys are in that special area and they're going to stay there?
I could see them all having like a little side project, kind of jumping on the bandwagon, just like all the artists are right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I said, I think the country music is really good that's coming out. They are sing-alongs and they are songs that give you some type of feeling. It's just like making it like a festival or a club at it is like, I think that's where I think me and Rod have been DJing long enough to be like, oh yeah, that will work in this environment. Mm-hmm. So like, hopefully we can start putting these out and maybe get recognition. Like if we can get them on like Headliner or DJ City or Club Killers or one of those, you know, and I feel like all those guys.
Check your emails, record pools.
Yeah. Like Diplo, I feel like you see him always playing, or Chainsmokers, they're always playing like edits of DJs, like Beatbreaker stuff or Joe Ma stuff. Like you always see them, you know, grabbing stuff. So like if we could, you know, help get these edits out there and get them in their hands, I feel like that it will definitely help us too.
Yeah, because once you see that these edits and remixes are supported by these bigger DJs.
Yeah.
I mean, that just...
Yeah, I've seen a couple Shabuzi remixes pop up on the record pools lately from very non-country remixers.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, even like the last episode where Kaza's literally made an edit for Shabuzi, where he's done a couple, like he did a Morgan Wallen one prior, but he typically, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily think that like country would be his thing. And
Kaza's edit's a banger.
Exactly.
Yeah, his is really good.
Yeah.
I think him coming to Nashville too, and him seeing the reaction here. Like I don't know if those edits would work anywhere else, but they definitely work here, and that's how I feel like we know like which ones are the good ones.
Yeah,
like even going back to Diplo's set last year at Stagecoach when he did the country EDM. Dude, I feel like he was like struggling with some of the songs he picked because I was like, man, that one was whack.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what, like, I felt like his whole set needed help. He was just all over the place. I was like, man, but I started thinking more about myself. Like, man, there's been times I've been out and I'll play a song and I'm like, man, this edit just did not hit the way it should have. Like, it completely brought the vibe down the whole room. And it's easy when you're doing an hour set, but like when you're doing 4 or 5 hours on a rooftop and in Nashville, like at 10 o'clock, there is no opening. Like, you're on. It's midnight at 10 and you're doing that till 3. Like, I think that's the hard part here. Like, a lot of people don't get is like, dude, you have to like go in your entire set. Your entire set is prime time for the most part. So like, you have to have enough songs to fill that entire 4 or 5 hour set.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the energy at the majority of spots that I've played at here. Is like,
there's no tiger nuts on the Broadway rooftops.
Yeah.
It's go from
maybe the
step
very
up, step
first
on.
one. Like,
If you're the opening DJ,
if you get there at noon, maybe you can get away with it for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest is it's go time the whole way through too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's even with Kaza's, like he messaged me the last weekend, like before he came out here, and he shot me a text and he's like, "Yo, like, what songs do I need to be playing in Nashville?"
Did he play that at Barstool last weekend?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, Shabuzi, Tipsy," and then he goes, "Oh," he's like, "Well, here I got something for you," and sent me it, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" Like, I was like, "Damn, this is so good." But like, that's why that got brought up, was because that was the one song where I was like, "Yo, right now, like, this is the fucking hottest song, especially here in Nashville."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I just got done making that," but that's the kind of thing where it's like,
I
feel
wonder
like
how he found it. Like, I would wonder. Like,
he
obviously, us
he's
being
always
here.
digging for music, bro. Like, like he stays on top of that shit. But plus, now that he's got so much recognition, which is something that I think could end up happening with you guys, he's gotten so much recognition from the stuff that he puts out, and then from record pools where he'll have bigger DJs hit him up when they have shows, just for like his edits that he does and knowing his style of like what will fit into it. So
That's
like he
awesome.
literally will say like, these DJs will message him and be like, "Hey, can you make me a edit of this song? I have this show at this place."
That's
And then he
dope.
just works on it specifically for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Diplo holler at his dog.
Yeah, I know it's got one of the guys I subscribe to on Patreon. He just sent out his new edits yesterday, and one of the folders he said, this edit might be a little weird, but it was a personal request from the original.
From
DJ.
the original artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
See?
so I had to flip it up.
Yeah. And that'd be something that would be so awesome. Have you guys like tried reaching out to any artists to see if they will send you like stems and stuff, or is everything you guys been doing, is it just through like Serato stems? And
I've been using Serato stems.
okay.
Yeah, DMs are pretty cold right now.
Yeah. Because I hit up.
Been trying to reach out and like, no response. But
Yeah.
I think that's what sucks too in the country world. Like, dude, I get so many hip hop emails. So many hip hop emails. You don't get a single one from like country or nothing, man. Like, I think there was one person that reached out to me for Willie Jones, and I think they sent me one email and that was it. Like, and I was like, "Yo, I need this. Can I have these?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he just sends me the single, and I'm like, that's not how nightclubs work, man. Like,
That's why I don't know what the disconnect is with the country music scene and like the DJ world, but I've talked about it so many times just on these episodes, where if there could be somebody to bridge the gap, and that's what I've been trying to be like since coming to Nashville, it's like there needs to be somebody that bridges the gap between country music and the labels and the artists and getting their music out to DJs.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
it's getting them the stems or just literally getting us the originals that then we can like make the intro edits for, so it makes it easier for people to play in clubs. But it's like there's so many people that
they could be easy and just give us instrumental acapella.
Exactly. That's what
We'll
I'm
do
saying.
the rest.
Yeah,
That's
also-
just give me those stems of the instrumental and acapella, and that's all you need.
And for the most part, country doesn't service record pools either.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's
So you literally
there's
just
a
gotta
disconnect
go buy
there.
the track off
Yeah.
Apple.
If you were to go through the top 50 country music charts, I bet 6 of those songs are on record pools.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you go through the top 50
I think I might
charts,
I might take the under on that also.
okay, yeah. And it's
Probably more like
crazy. to
3.
me.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, especially being here
I think
where it's
actually,
like,
I think it's Shabuzi and Austin, and that's it.
yeah, and maybe a Morgan Wallen song.
Yeah.
It's probably they're probably still pumping out Last Night.
Yeah, exactly.
We need more last night edits.
But it's wild. Like how hasn't there been like one country artist who's tried to be like the pioneer for it and been like, hey, like we're gonna get this stuff out to the DJs, and they would end up blowing up way more because all these DJs would be playing their shit.
Yeah. I feel like Luke, man. Luke Combs has a ton of bangers. We were talking about it. And same thing. I'm like, bro, some of these are just hard to make because, I mean, if you don't have the stems, it's how do you make an intro that doesn't sound funny? Like,
Yeah.
I could grab drums from another song, but like the second the song comes in, it's going to be 2 different drum sounds. Like, so yeah, man, they need to do something. I mean, we can only do so much with Serato Studio taken out. I mean, because when you do those DIY instrumentals, acapella, sometimes you can hear the vocals bleed through.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah, so like they just don't sound that good. And
Yeah, I
sometimes
think that was one of the issues we were running into the other day with that idea we tossed was like, we just didn't like the way the acapella rip sounded. It's like,
Yeah.
because it was like cutting off almost words like during the chorus. It was like, I don't know if it was clashing with an instrument, but like there were literally like whole words missing while they were singing. So
because it didn't pick them out right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So man, we got to figure out a way to. I guess we're gonna have to start walking down Music Road, dog, and just start knocking on doors.
yeah.
so maybe this younger generation of next round of artists that are coming up, maybe they'll be more open to sharing their stems and
Yeah.
whatnot.
So I think they will. Like I
Or
hit
just
up,
hire us like at the studio, dog.
Yeah.
I'll go in for a 9 to 5.
yeah.
for real.
I'll make DJ edits through Sony.
But no, like I think that a lot of them will. Like I hit up Ryan Charles, the dude that sings like New Boo Goofin', and then he just had a new song called Heartbreak Rodeo, and I literally DM'd him after like this stuff came out with you guys doing Broadway, and I hit him up because we've been talking like the last couple of weeks and stuff, and I'm trying to get him on here, and I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, can you send me the stems for Heartbreak Rodeo?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got you." And I
Did
was
you
gonna
get 'em?
send him over. Yeah, I literally
Nice.
did. That was just like today. He sent me that. But then like even someone like Tanner Adele, I months ago when like Buckle Bunny was out, DM'd her and I was like, "Yo, do you have the stems for this at all?" Like, because it's not on any record pools, and even still now, where she's blown up so much from being on Beyonce's album, none of her songs still are on any
Yeah.
record pools. And I messaged her like a while ago because one, I want to get her on here, and this is before she was on Beyonce's album. I wanted to have her on here because she was just a country artist here that I thought was going to blow up, and the way that she ran her social media and everything, I was like, cool, like she's doing it the right way where like she's
Yeah.
going to end up blowing up. The songs sounded good, and then now she's got new songs and stuff, and they're still not out.
Do you think that the artists don't understand how the DJ record pools work?
I don't know if it's that or if it's literally the labels that prevent it, because I know like obviously with Sony,
Yeah,
for
if they're on
people
the
that
Sony, they're
don't
not
know,
getting service anyways.
yeah, so like for people that don't know that aren't in the DJ industry, like Sony artists can't even have their songs on record pools. They have whatever agreement right now that like they won't put them on record pools. So it's like that you're just completely shut down from all them, where it's like the only way that you are going to get them is by making those edits yourself.
Right.
But I do think that the majority of artists, especially like if they are a newer artist, they probably don't know. Like I feel like even me talking to my professors and stuff at Belmont who've been in the music industry for years didn't know what record pools were. They're like,
Wow.
what's a record pool? And I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah, I would assume most people working on Music Road don't know what record pools are.
which is crazy to me, because it's like I feel like that's such a large area that you can be pushing music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I feel also like the way, from what I understand, the way originally record pools started back in the day was this guy had like a ton of records and he would give them to DJs from the record labels, like, yo, go promote our new songs.
Exactly.
Give them to all the DJs in the area and then get their feedback and let us know what the singles are.
And now it's the opposite where they're like holding them from the DJs in the record pools.
It's like, dude, we're the ones on the front line. I feel like our ears are the best. Like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it's been several years since the DJ world has been breaking records.
Yeah.
Now it's like
TikTok and Instagram and everything. You're hearing it there first.
It's like Tommy Richmond, we mentioned earlier, the #1 song on iTunes now. And I got a request for it Friday and had no idea what it was. I was like, I don't know the song. I don't know the artist.
Yeah.
And literally like 3 days later, it's all I'm seeing on social media. And song went #1 on iTunes.
Yeah.
I see Jermaine Dupri tweeting about him, was like, what's A&R thing about this guy who's not signed to a major who just got the #1 song?
It's wild.
Yeah.
And that's all from social media. Yeah.
It's like when Shabuzi dropped, it was just blowing up on TikTok before he was even released. And it really released on that Friday and went, what, #1? Mm-hmm. Then 4 or 5 days?
That's wild. That's a banger.
You guys remember the guy for a little bit? I don't even know his name anymore. But he had like the Richmond of Richmond. That song that went like #1. It was a super country guy. And he made this song. He went viral.
I'm just having a brain fart on his name right now.
Yeah.
The Oliver guy?
Huh?
Oliver something?
Yes.
Yeah. That was what it was.
Oh, okay. The redhead dude.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, that's the same kind of thing where he literally went viral because he was singing in this like super small little field and he sounded so good and his song just started blowing up and he went #1 and he like didn't want any of the fame. He had record labels reaching out wanting to sign him to like $1 million contracts and he's like, no, fuck you guys.
He made millions off the iTunes probably. Yeah. He's like, I don't need your screw your
especially
million.
as an independent artist. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy just like where it could go. But then especially like I feel like if you're getting it out to people that are playing in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people week after week in Nashville, like they're going to hear it and be like, yo, what song is this?
I think what's cool about Nashville too is I feel like people are like very lenient when it comes to music here. Mm-hmm. Like I remember being back home and like sometimes you play the wrong song, you get looks in the crowd. Like here, it's like people will still vibe. Like they're here to have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are here to party.
Yeah, so it's like they might not know this song, but these 10 people do know it, and these 10 people don't. But these 10 people are gonna vibe with them
because they see the energy that the other 10 people that
like,
do know.
are we not on top of this?
Yeah,
you know, should we like this song too? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool to see that. Like yo, relax. We're still gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
you know,
you can sit out for one song.
But go to the bar, get another drink.
Yeah. But nobody wants to do that. So, Darren, something that you just did, playing for Cole Swindell, how'd that go? Playing a big festival.
That was awesome. I was scared out of my mind. Rod and Travesty hooked me up with a ton of music that really helped. So did Spinex out of Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, he sent me a folder of some stuff. I had a lot of it. I think it was just they helped me get a little more organized. Mm-hmm. Or like I looked through Rod's playlist and I was like, oh, I forgot about that one, so I threw it in my own folder. But yeah, dude, it was really cool. They let me announce pretty much every artist, which was awesome.
Yeah.
A couple of the artists said hi to me. Cole was just like backstage walking around. That was like my first time like being backstage and actually getting to experience backstage. Like I've been backstage, but it's always been like a favor for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very underwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, but to have the artist wristband, I kind of felt like I was able to like nobody's gonna say nothing to me today, you know. Like before, it was like I might have the backstage band, but like you can't go in this area, or like even like little things like catering.
Yeah,
like that was kind of cool to experience. Like
I don't want to take this food because I might be Uncrustable.
Yeah, so I did. I got like 3 of them. But yeah, it was cool, man. Like I said, Cole was literally just walking around like. He was standing next to me. I was like on my phone. I look up. I'm like, oh, he's standing right next to me. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like, so, Yeah, it was a really dope, man. Shout out to Travesty and Slim McGraw for hooking that up, man.
Nice.
That was super dope. It was last minute, but like I said, man, definitely a great experience. Can't wait to get some more under my belt.
Yeah,
I'd say playing your first country festival is probably took a minute to realize what you can get away with playing at a country festival.
Yeah.
Like, it's not strictly country.
I was definitely like nervous to like veer off the path a little bit. And then I started realizing, I think we talked about this. I was like, all the country artists, I would announce them and they'd have like a little minute or two song that they would play before they actually came on stage. And they were all hip hop songs.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, I can at least get away with like Usher's. Yeah, like, you know, the top 40 bangers. So towards the end of the night, I feel like I got more comfortable in just like a party rock set, you know, because their sets are really short. I think it 10, 15 minutes tops that I played.
Well, and I was thinking about it too, like when we were just at Whiskey Jam this past week, and I want to say for like 2 or 3 of the different artists, their like first intro song, like one of them had, I want to say it was like, it wasn't Pepas, but it was some like Latin instrumental coming in the back that they came out to. And then like the other guy had like a hip hop song that he like came out to, and then they started playing like the drums and the guitar over the hip hop beat that they had in the back tracking on it. But yeah, it was cool to see like just that crossover of the genres and seeing them use it live, where they had like, we could see like the dude's computer have like Ableton playing the background track.
Yeah.
And then they just went and played over the top of it. But
I think that's like, I feel like a lot of those people are my age. So like they definitely grew up with hip hop. Like you could love all sorts of music. I hate when people are like, I don't listen to country. Why?
yeah.
Like you can listen to anything. Like,
But then you
that's
can
one
also,
reason-
you can mesh it together too.
Yeah.
Like they were literally playing a Latin track and then like mixing country with it to get into their songs.
right.
Which was cool and it worked and it sounded good. And then it's like, that's just the kind of stuff that when I'm at a show, like I'm always listening to that kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit, like they were playing this sample behind their track. So, and I just forgot what it was though.
Yeah, the amount of times, like I think now, like since the invention of the iPod, now streaming, it's like you can look through my phone, like there's not just one genre on there. And hardly anybody has just one genre of music on their phone. It's like you got country, you got rock, you got hip hop, you just got some random like Latin tracks and dembo and everything else. Like
I have some folk shit that I'd be rocking out to.
yeah, and like nobody just listens to one genre anymore. That's why when we do these opening sets at country festivals, you can go all over the place with it.
Because you've played a bunch. I mean, what are some of like the favorite ones that you've played?
Definitely getting able to play Watershed at the Gorge, which is just a bucket list venue. Played that the last 2 years.
You sent me a picture of that one. Like, and that was like sick.
It's insane out there. Right, the amphitheater stage literally just backs up to the cliff of the gorge, and like they've even got a little green out there we can hit golf balls off into the gorge.
Really?
Yeah, right off the back.
Damn.
And like that was just a bucket list place for me to see a show at, let alone play. Like the first year I played, I finished my last set on Sunday, and I was gonna go back to the hotel, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute.
Yeah.
And like I just sat on the railing on the fence line right behind the gorge, and I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be back, so I'm just gonna soak this in
Yeah.
and look around. And playing Faster Horses in Michigan this summer.
That's a huge one. That's where a lot of my buddies have gone to, obviously with me being from Wisconsin, but I've had a lot of buddies go to Faster Horses. Actually had buddies like when Silver was on the platform, they're like, oh dude, I've seen him at Faster Horses so many times.
I've been
just, like, hit me up for it.
I've actually been to Faster Horses every year except the first year.
Really?
Yeah.
How many years have they been doing it?
This is either year 11 or 12. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay. And you go out there every year for it?
Yeah, I've gone with Silver and been his TM.
Yeah.
So like this year I'm going up there and playing it.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
Yeah.
How does it work out there for it? Is it like just a festival where they have different stages set up, or is it?
They only have 2 stages. They have the main stage and they have a Next from Nashville stage,
Okay.
which they put I saw Chris Stapleton on the Next from Nashville stage.
Wow.
I saw Sam Hunt on the Next from Nashville stage. I think Luke Combs is playing Next from Nashville. So like they hang like banners of each year
Yeah.
in the tent that they build. And it's kind of like championship banners of everybody that's played that stage beforehand.
That's awesome.
And like BOC, the president of Live Nation Country, who's hosts the festival every year, he'll come out to certain acts and be like, this is the last time you play this stage. We'll see you on main stage next year.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Like Sam Hunt, the year I saw him on X from Nashville, literally the next year he was playing direct support on the main stage.
Probably blown up from House Party and all his
That was
shit.
the biggest crowd I'd ever seen at the Next from Nashville stage when he played, because he had that acoustic album that had blown up
Yeah.
before his major release, and whoever was playing the main stage at that time probably had a little dip in their crowd,
Yeah.
because everybody went over to the Next from Nashville stage.
That's so awesome. That's a cool way to do it, though. Like, for doing a festival like that, where it's like you're building up these people that are coming up next. So
Yeah, but then when the Live Nation Country Festivals, when the main stage ends at the end of the night, we always do an after party at the Next from Nashville stage where it's just 2 hours straight of full on rager, like an EDC.
and
set.
that's where the DJs
Yeah.
are at. Okay, yeah, because that's where I think they would have seen Silver, because then they're just like partying.
But we
at
also do the set changes on the main stage.
Okay.
So I'll be on main stage all day long doing set changes. Then as soon as the headliner goes off at like 11:30 at night,
Yeah.
go play a 2 hour set at the Next from Nashville stage with just rage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna look
gotta
up
be.
these dates right now.
That's what I was literally gonna say. We might have to go out there then. So
I told Darren, I was like, come
Yeah.
on.
So since we're talking about you guys playing festivals, we're gonna hit you guys with a little rapid fire. What is the favorite venue or event that you've ever performed at? Is that yours, Rod?
Gorge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's yours, Darren?
I'm gonna have to say the Cole Swindell show, man. That was
Really?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a different vibe being on stage with 10,000 people in front of you.
Yeah.
Like just being nervous out of my mind, but like my little brother came up to see me, and it was like having him on the side of me filming and like cutting off the song to 10,000 people singing. I think I did Devil Went Down to Georgia, and they went bananas.
Yeah.
Like, which I did it because I was like, oh, it's a country song, and it didn't click in my head till I was doing it. Like I'm in Georgia playing down. Like of course they're gonna go
Darren
bananas.
went down to Georgia.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this was. So yeah, man, that was dope. That's the one that's fresh on my mind right now.
Did you play Kane Brown, Bury Me in Georgia?
I did.
Nice.
That was in the early set though.
All right. So what is a venue or festival that you guys want to play in the future?
Got to be Stagecoach, man.
I want to play Stagecoach, but I also want to play Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Rate said Red Rock as a venue that he wants to go to.
I know Silver played Red Rocks with Luke Combs.
Really?
Yeah. And he's got a picture hanging out in his studio on stage with just the cliff line on both sides of them.
Ah, I didn't
That's
see
so
about
I was
sad.
like,
And Red Rocks isn't a big venue, is it?
no, not
No.
at all.
Yeah.
What is it, like 10,000?
I don't even know if it's
Yeah, I don't know
that.
if it's that.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
one of those
wow.
iconic spots.
For you guys now doing edits, who would be like a dream collaboration to either like work with making an edit for, or to have them pick up one of your guys' edits and remixes as like an official?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, if we get official collaboration with the new boss man, Garth Brooks, playing his bar every weekend, that'd be something.
Yeah, that'd be. I don't feel like you can get any bigger than that.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Like if you guys could sit in a studio and just like work with one of them as you construct and go through and make an edit or remix, that's who it would be.
I would be terrified to do that with one of the, like an artist that big, bro.
Just because
Yeah,
you don't think that you like know enough yet, or what?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like.
I mean, I would like sit in the studio with like a Diplo or a Vavo, though, just see their creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like.
Just see how they do it. But for like an actual, like larger artist, to like get them to co-sign something and actually work with them, it'd have to be Garth Brooks. But
Yeah.
yeah, like other DJ wise, I'd love to see Vavo and Diplo and see how like they produce.
I think
their
them
approach.
being DJs, I'd have a better understanding than sitting in like an artist, like a
I think they'd be
singer
able to like
songwriter artist. I'd be like, this is a little bit out of my element.
yeah, I think they'd be able to like explain it better to you guys too, of like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on, and like the direction that they go when they're making edits and remixes for stuff too. I'm gonna have you guys give me your top 3 songs right now. So Rod, you just gave me yours last week. You got a new one this week?
This week, you can probably take, I mean, Shabuzi's everywhere right now. Might as
Yeah.
well just. And that was one of our first edits we did.
Yeah. Your Shabuzi and Tipsy edit?
Yeah. You know, very original.
That one had to be done. We had to get it out quick
Yeah.
too.
Darren, what you got? What are some of your favorite songs right now? These songs you're listening to while you're out, songs you like playing at the club.
I
What are
feel
your
like a lot of the stuff I'm like really enjoying again is like older stuff. Mm-hmm. the newest song I really love playing right now is that, I don't even know how you say it, Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Zerb?
Yeah.
I love that track.
Yeah.
It's just,
You like Addicted too?
I always play it, yeah. I always play them just like the very end of my set though, because obviously that's something that's hard to play in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And I've tried to put a couple acapellas to it. I'm like, it's not working with this track. But
Yeah.
that song is a banger. All the Fred again stuff. I love all the Fred again stuff. I listen to all that stuff on repeat. I like that Austin track.
Dasha?
Yeah. It's just a fun,
Yeah.
you know it's
the
going to
dance
work
for
on
it?
the dance floor. Yeah.
That song, like the amount of times I've laid my head down to go to sleep at night, and it's just stuck in my head. And I don't even know if I've heard it that day. Like, it's just there, living rent free.
It's because there's so many fucking videos of it of people doing the dance to it. So,
That new Tanner Adele song's dope.
which one? Whiskey Blues?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the...
funny you say that.
Segue?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Because I know now we got your guys' songs. I'm going to give you guys one of these new segments. Darren, you haven't done it yet. Rod, you did it last week. This is going to be called New Heat or Delete. So I'm going to play 3 songs for you guys.
All right.
Real simple. You just
Let's
got to
do
tell
it.
me if it's new heat or if it's some shit that we got to delete. So first one we got here, it's going to be this.
Beat's funky.
It
is
sounds
what-
cool. I don't know it, but yeah, it sounds cool.
So what Rod was talking about before, it's called $1 Million Baby.
Oh, it's a song that's number
That's-
one?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
I mean, it's clearly the people say it's heat.
It's number 1. Yeah, that's what Rod was talking about. That,
Yeah.
that
I think
just
it needs
shot
a-
up to number 1.
Needs a remix or something to be playable out, though, for our spots.
Yeah.
Maybe a harder kick or something. I don't even know. I'd have
It's
to
like-
hear it.
Was that like 70?
I mean, I feel like for you playing at like some of these rooftop spots, you could fit that in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I mean, not
Yeah, it's a
some-
vibey track, so like in order to make it to Broadway, it's probably gonna need a little love.
Yeah. Yeah. So then both saying heat for it or
Heat.
saying it needs a little love?
It needs a little love.
It's heat, but still depends
Yeah.
on where you're at.
Gotcha. Second one is going to be someone that we were talking about a little bit earlier. This is going to be the new one from Tanner Adele called Whiskey Blues.
Because I've been laying on a different sheets, just trying to get over you. Been hanging at you through the bar to the quarter past 2. You
That's
got me
heat.
thinking of you drinking 'cause your
Yeah,
love
it's
is
heat.
overproof. I got a bad case of the whiskey blues.
That's like pop country.
So that's a new Tanner
It's like
Adele.
R&B, pop, like it's really like what she's singing about is the only thing that's country really. It's
yeah.
like her vocals sound very R&B, like
Yeah.
the beat's very pop, the production on it. It's like singing about whiskey at the bar.
Yeah.
That's the country right there.
There you go. See? I feel like that's how so much country is right
Yeah.
now, where it's
Yeah.
like it is a lot more like poppy and like mainstream for it. The last one, so I always like to do like 2 regular original edits, and then this third one I always put in there is one that is going to be one that's found on like DJ record pools, something that you're not going to find on an Apple Music or
Yeah.
Spotify. So this last one is a new one that I just got sent over to me. You guys got to tell me if you like this one. Perfect for out here in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. Straight banger.
Big sing-along song right there.
Yeah, man. Did you send them that one?
I might have.
Got this snuck to me before the show. This is from the Broadway Boys. So it's going to be a new one that, do you guys have a date for when it's coming out yet?
So what, this episode's dropping in 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably drop that edit in 2 weeks to
There we
coincide.
go.
There we go.
With the
Let's
episode
do it.
and do a little promo for Broadway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one sounds really good. And that's definitely one that'll go hard.
I played that one for the first time last weekend. I saw this dude in the crowd just singing as loud as
Just
he possibly
belting
could.
it.
And yeah.
Love it. See,
That
and
was.
that's,
I had the same reaction at Friends. There's like an older lady though.
yeah. And that's what you're looking for. It's just
Yeah.
those people that just start singing along to it. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Can't wait for that one to drop. So obviously, if you guys aren't already, you guys can check out all their stuff. It's going to be on Patreon. You guys always put it on the Instagram page too. And then, yeah, I mean, last thing we got to do before we get out of here, we got to put somebody on a platform. So any brand, person, place that you guys like to eat, whatever you guys want, some place or person that you guys want to shine a little spotlight on, get it out to the listeners, get it out to the viewers.
It has to be just one. I feel like I got to shout out 2 people.
If you got a shout out too, shout them out.
I'm going to shout out Travesty and Slim McGraw.
2
Both
good ones.
of them. Yeah, they are the ones that helped me get the Cole Swindell show.
Okay.
So yeah, man, we got to get those homies on the podcast.
Hell yeah. Travesty has been on the mix show before, has not been on the pod.
I'll co-sign both those.
Yeah. Slim McGraw is obviously fucking, I feel like he's traveling all over all the time. So
Yeah, he just did Stagecoach. That's
yeah,
wild.
exactly. So
There you go. That's a good podcast.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're welcome, Declan. Want me to give you his phone number too?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Rod, who you got? I know last week you did Coach.
Yeah.
Another DJ from here. Awesome DJ.
Coach is the shit.
Yeah.
Man, let's shout out. Let's do a little different since I did DJs on my last episode. Let's do my buddy Z, my sneaker plug in his store, Soho Gallery in Harrisonville, right outside Nashville.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we met him at 1230 Club the other.
Yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
started off as being just my sneaker plug here in town, then became one of my good friends. Shows up to a lot of the gigs and brought him over to 1230 with y'all.
Yeah. Awesome guy. He was super nice. I still need to go and visit and get some shoes. I know I'm rocking the boots today just because it
Boots good.
fit with the episode since we were talking country music, so I had
You
to
were
bust them
scared
out
to
for
pull
you.
out the cowboy hat, though.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a good cowboy hat, so I feel like if I would have wore it, people
I
just-
didn't realize how expensive they can get, man.
Yeah.
That's why you got to go to like Boot Barn. It's like buy one, get 3 free.
Yeah. But like
I don't know if
mine
those
is
are
literally
good, though.
just Eddie's that he bought off Amazon and he left it here from after he came to visit. So it's like a $20 fucking black Amazon cowboy hat that just looks like shit. So, but yeah, if you can't tell, Rod is a huge shoe guy. I know you probably might not be able to see on the camera, but the shoe plug is a perfect fit for
Yeah.
you. So yeah, Z, that's a good pick for you. And then with you having Travesty and Slim McGraw, those are 2 big DJs. Obviously, Slim just being out there for Stagecoach.
Z,
is
aka
fucking huge.
23 Penny on Instagram.
Yes, he is. Yeah. But awesome, man. I appreciate you guys taking the time to come in here and sit down and talk about this new project and hopefully get it out there to a lot of these DJs that listen and watch the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys aren't already, make sure you guys go hit up Darren, hit up Rod. I'll put all their socials in the description here.
Hopefully we
Make
come
sure
back
you guys-
next year and be like week after playing Stagecoach.
Hopefully you guys are too big to even come back here next year.
That's
No,
never a
we're
thing.
still coming back, dog.
As long as you got Luna, we'll come back.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, make sure you guys are following Broadway. They'll put all these edits out on their Patreon. It's all free right now until they blow up and get fucking rich and famous. And then they're going to start charging you guys $50 a month, probably even more than that. But yeah, make sure you're following the boys. Follow the Platform Mix on all socials. We got new mixes out every Monday. These episodes come out every Wednesday. I'm DJ Dex. As always, make sure you guys follow me. Leave any questions that you guys have for Rod, for Darren, any guests that you guys do want to see on upcoming shows. Let us know in the comments. And then until next Wednesday, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
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 Check. Mic check. 1, 2. Yo, is this thing on or what?